On to type 7, the third type in the mental triad, 5, 6, and 7. 5 holds the mental energy in. 6s are kind of divorced from the mental energy, and 7s are projecting the mental energy out. So what does that look like when mental energy is projected out? It's different than emotional energy. It's different than intuitive energy. When mental energy is constantly trying to find its way out, it looks like ideas, plans, possibilities, visions. So 7s are like the visionaries of the Enneagram. And because they're mental type, they're not hung up necessarily by their feelings, like the emotional types. They're not getting intuitive hits that are stopping them in their tracks, although they certainly may. But they're living up here in the world of ideas. And it's beautiful, and it's unfettered, and it's free-ranging, and it's joyful until you introduce a problem. Well, I didn't like it when you said it to me that way. Or I don't think the idea is going to work because of this or that. And then 7s tend to go, I'm not interested in that. Because if I start to think about that too much, I am distracted from what is possible. And the attention of 7 goes to what is possible. So they're looking at the horizon all the time. And if you have a problem, they'll take their eyes off the horizon and look at you. So not particularly interested in that. The good news is really good, especially right now. The 7s in our world can remind us that there is always a reason to be joyful. Always. And they bring that joy and that sort of vibrancy and vitality. When the other 8 of us are like, you think bad. 7s can point to what's possible and the potential that is there. And when that's done from a place of compassion, it is really, really friggin' helpful. And when it's done from a place of avoidance, like it's too painful to think of the problems, then it is aggressive and unkind. So we can count on the 7s in our world to see what's possible even in the biggest mess. And we're in a big mess right now. So the 7s are out there going, this is how we can reconfigure our world so that when we move through this, there's going to be more happiness for these people or those people or for myself or for whomever. They're, I'm not saying everybody that does this is a 7, but they're online, composing symphonies about the quarantine and then broadcasting them out to all their neighbors. I saw a video of a Zumba teacher. It's like dancing around, teaching a Zumba class in front of their house, and their neighbors were all socially distant and doing the Zumba with them. And then the Amazon delivery person came by and jumped in and started doing the Zumba class with them. That was a joy in the midst of this very painful, difficult, dangerous situation. But the 7 brought the joy. And it's real, unless it's not. So thank you, 7s. Self-preservation 7 is called family, or sometimes called like-minded defenders, which is kind of a big name. But self-preservation 7s, they want to be surrounded by family, whatever that family looks like, friends or actual progeny, or that makes them feel safe. So friends sounds like a social instinct, but for self-preservation 7s, friendship is actually the protection. That's the security for my physical survival. Social 7 is called sacrifice, and they're the least 7-y of the 7s. They're like, I have so many ideas. I have so many games. There's so many things I could be playful in this world, but I have a duty to my family, to society, to my company, so I'm going to sacrifice for them. Sexual 7 is called fascination. They're like the Casanovas or Casanovos or whatever of the Enneagram. They want to fall in love, because what is a greater expression of potentiality than falling in love? But eventually, no matter how deeply in love you fall, at some point, person does something that upsets you or irritates you. You're like, wait, or you're bored or you're angry or something happens because life. And then the sexual seven may go, well, let me find someone else to fall in love with, because falling in love is the exempt from the conditions of ordinary life. And sevens would like to be exempt from those conditions. So if you are a seven, like I said earlier, 3s, 7s, and 8s may be suffering particularly right now during quarantine, because 3s, 7s, and 8s are the types that are most dominant, most respected in our Western culture. 3s for their productivity, 7s for their ideas and visions, and 8s for their ability to dominate and lead. But it's impossible to do those things right now. So if you are a 7 or you live with a 7, anxiety may be coming out in a funny way for 7s who don't like to appear anxious or express anxiety or acknowledge sorrow. So it may look like a lot more doing. I'm not going to compose a symphony for my neighborhood. I'm going to compose 12 symphonies for 6 countries and constant doing. So, okay, if you feel like you want to do that and you can do it, and okay, but very important to also rest and remember that we value you for your ability to bring the joy. But you don't always have to do it. You can cry too. You can be sad. It's okay. We still love you. So the talking style of 7 is called planning. Pretty self-explanatory, I think. How was your Enneagram talk? You know what? You should listen to it. You should listen to you're a 5. You should listen to that one first. And then you are going to start to teach the Enneagram in your company. It's going to be fantastic. You can get a business card. It's going to say this or that. And then, you know what? I'm going to teach it at my company. And then we can start this website where we're going to, introduce it to people that have pets, because people with pets really need to know their Enneagram types and, ideas. 7s are the kind of people that you can talk to them and can be very exciting, very interesting. And you're like, wow, that's amazing. That's a great idea. And then you walk away and you're kind of like, what did they say? Because you want to land it. And 7s want to stay up here. And we need them for that, because we all need to be lifted up from time to time, but we also all need to come down to earth from time to time. So that's 7.